Today we're checking out the brand new portal axle kit from Traxxas for the TRX4M. This is a complete axle kit sold by Traxxas, ready to bolt right onto your TRX4M. It's going to net you about 10 millimeters of extra ground clearance right in the center of your build. It also includes gear sets to optimize this for single-speed transmissions or their new 2-speed transmission. At $130 for the complete set, these are a little bit more pricey than some of the aftermarket competitors out there. But we're going to open these up and put them on a build to see if it's worth it to go with the genuine Traxxas portals. All right, let's get into these. I already opened it up just to take a quick look. Let's see, let's get in. Okay, inside the package, we get the 2 different gear sets. We get some wheel nuts. We've got some instructions on which gears to use and in which scenario, which we'll go over in more detail in a minute. Here are the axles themselves. They come fully assembled, ready to bolt onto the truck. First impressions, they're very light, very, very light. We've got plastic housings, plastic portal boxes. You can see the bushings throughout. Traxxas maintains the vertical servo mount here, just like the stock setup. Steering linkage does not come with it, so we'll have to use all of our stock components there. Steering feels pretty kind of ratchety right there. Let's see what... Passenger side, nice and smooth. That one's, something's going on there. To see if that's... to adjust that when it's on there. Look at the ground clearance you're going to gain here. We've got huge swath of clearance under the middle of the build, about 10 millimeters of extra clearance here. And you gain nearly the same amount as far as track width goes. I think it's around 9 millimeters of extra track width here. So you're going to get a much wider stance. Going to give you that stability. Here's the rear. Rear's nice clean setup here. They look like baby TRX4 portals. I think now we're going to take the final step to transform this into an actual mini TRX4 with the portals here. Let's take a look at the 2 different gear sets. So the red gear set, this is for single speed transmissions. So if you haven't upgraded your transmission, you're still running the stock gearbox, open that up and put the red gears in here. Now this isn't 100% mandatory from what I can tell. It just says if you want to maintain stock gear speed, use these red gears in the single speed. It says that it's compatible with the high speed gears, not compatible with the low range gear set. If you're running the 2-speed transmission, the new 2-speed transmission that Traxxas just released, you want to put the blue gears in there. Also remember, there is an optional gear that comes with that kit that you're going to want to install to complete the setup here. We just installed the 2-speed in this high trail here, which is going to be getting the portals. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it down below. But this is the combo that we're going to be using, is the 2-speed and the portals. A couple of things to note with these: they don't reverse your throttle direction. So when you put these on, you don't have to mess with any of that, reversing your motor wires or anything. They also include a gear reduction of 2.56 to 1. I'm anxious to see if these help with reducing torque twist. It's one of the things that the high trail in particular really suffers with, is that gets that lean whenever you gas it. So I'm anxious to see if the reduction in the portals helps us out with that. I'm also curious. I'm going to open these up. I want to see what they have for gears in them. I know that it has metal portal gears in the portal boxes. I want to see what's in the diffs. Looks like we maintain composite gears inside the differentials. Let's open up one of these portals to check out the gears there. Okay, yes indeed, we do have metal gears inside the portals. They are dry as the Serengeti though, so I'm going to grease these up while I'm in here. Put the old Cow RC udder butter into these. I'm going to do both front and rear while we've got these apart. And then I'm going to install them on the high trail and we'll see how they do. I'm in the transmission now, getting ready to put in the optional gears. Here's the 2-speed setup as it is right now. So these black gears on the bottom I'm going to take out, replace them with the blue. Put in this optional gray gear. It's going to go right there, I believe. So I'm going to make this swap now, and then we'll be ready to put the axles on. Okay, to clarify, you replace the little gray gear that was on there before and add the additional gear. You don't add it on top of the existing gear. The instructions are a little bit unclear, so it's a gear swap, and that's what I've done here. Quick comparison here. Now you can really see the width difference on these things. Significantly wider than stock. So look at the ground clearance. You're going to get tons of ground clearance out of these things. Right, here we are with the portal axles installed. Very easy installation. A little bit of an extra step with the transmission gear swap, but still simple bolt-on nonetheless. As with all portal axles, you can see the first thing it does, it lifts up your chassis significantly. That 10 millimeters of extra ground clearance, which is definitely apparent here in the center of the truck, has to go somewhere, and it translates itself into lifting up your chassis height. So now we had a ton of room in our fender wells here. Looking like the F-150 skipped leg day every week for many, many months here. And we've got these little tiny Mickey Thompsons on here. Definitely room for bigger tires if you wanted to go that route. Otherwise, you could look at manipulating your shock placement or springs to bring that ride height back down. Shock adjustment on the stock chassis is going to be limited, so you may want to consider some aftermarket shock keys or aftermarket frame rails if you want to do what you can to bring that ride height back down. But as far as functionality, they do give you exactly what they are meant to do, which is a ton of ground clearance, huge ground clearance underneath this thing. And like I said, in the center, massive amount of ground clearance on this thing. The C-hubs up front are pretty tucked into the wheel. I don't see a lot of opportunities for hang-ups on this. The rear is nice and clean. Quick comparison here with the monster truck. It's the only one that I had handy, but you can still see how much ground clearance you gain with these axles. Keep in mind with the giant tires on the MT here, this is higher than a regular TRX4M would be, so the difference would be even more dramatic against a stock truck. Let's fire it up and see how it goes as far as driving. If we can notice that reduction. So I'm in low speed now. I have the 2-speed transmission, like I said. I'm in low speed right now. Feels very similar. Let's try high gear. High gear certainly feels slower. The torque twist seems to be mitigated quite a bit, especially in the high gear. It's a little difficult to see. I might move the camera so you guys can see this. So with torque twist, what we want to look for is a lean in the chassis under acceleration. I still get a little bit of it here. It is drastically improved with the new portal axles on it. Try low speed. Get a little bit of a hitch there in low speed, probably just because of the torque when I whack the throttle off the bottom. But if I roll into it, there is no torque twist on it. So that's a win, I think, as far as functionality goes. That's a big improvement over stock. Out here at the gravel pit, gonna try out the new jacked up F-150. Got my little man out there. Found some mud with the big Traxxas. He's getting stuck out there for sure. Great spot out here to test the portals. So let's see if I can find some rocks to crawl over. It's a good one right here. Look at that, it's just sailing over that rock pile. Holy moly. Again, let's kind of push that one out of the way. It is tippy though, super top heavy, being this high up in the air. Definitely effective. I think the gear reduction has improved the slow speed crawling ability of this. It does a great job out here. We got a ton of rain the other night, so this is going to be a great test here. This washout is full of golf ball sized rocks, which are going to be great to test these axles. Boy, the truck does sit up high though. Definitely needs some bigger shoes on there. But imagine on the regular TRX4M, wouldn't be that or as noticeable. The high trail just has the extra lift already. So combine that with the portals and we've got a lot of chassis height here. Oh, it's cruising through here. Portal's definitely making for a nice clean run up through the washout here. This is usually really challenging for the minis, mainly due to the ground clearance issues and the hang-ups they experience, but this thing is just floating right through here, no issues at all. Running this in high gear, here's a better view of the torque twist or lack thereof. See, very, very little movement in the chassis at all there, if that translates. If I whack the throttle here, not a lot of twist, where this thing would twist like a pretzel before. So I'm impressed with how much it improved the torque twist there. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here and drive this for a little bit longer, and then Axel and I are just gonna have some fun out on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. These portals are definitely functional. They do exactly like you would expect them to do, if not a little bit more. I'm really pleased with the gear reduction and the overall performance of this kit. So I'm gonna keep tooling around for a little bit longer, and then I will see you guys back at the bench with my final thoughts. I am an optimist, you guys know that. I like to look for the positive in all the upgrades that I review on the channel. I believe there's a butt for every seat, and I believe there's a build for every upgrade. That's why the benefits of these axles, like the large amount of ground clearance that you gain, the stability from the wider track width, and the significant reduction in torque twist, may be enough to sway some customers to buy these axles. I, however, have a hard time recommending these axles at $130 with plastic housings, plastic differential gears, bushings, and no bearings. I just can't bring myself to recommend these axles, not when there are so many good alternatives on the market for a fraction of the price. For just $20 more, you could buy a brand new FMS FCX24 that would come with the portal axles and the 2-speed transmission and the whole rest of the truck. So while I like what Traxxas has done here, I think they missed the mark with price, and they certainly left some features to be desired with these supporting components in these axles. But nonetheless, they are functional. They do what they are supposed to do. It's an easy and clean installation, but I just don't know if that's enough to justify the price. But guys, let me know your comments down below. What do you think of these Traxxas portal axles? And they are available now from the Traxxas website. I'll put the link in the description down below. Should be able to pick these up at your local hobby shop too. And as always, guys, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video.